Make every day extraordinary and live as if it's your last. That's the message from a man who's windsurfed across the channel. Ptol Slattery is that man, and he's joining us in the studio now to share his belief in ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Welcome, Ptol. And on top of that, you've also done a whole lot of cycling. You've done all sorts of things, very sporty. Why is it that, I mean, you said you kind of got into your head that you wanted to windsurf across the channel, and so that was it. There was no stopping you.
That's right.
And why?
Well, I believe in ordinary people. Everybody is to some extent ordinary, but we can all be extraordinary. The only difference between being ordinary is that little bit extra. And why do you want to live a boring life when you can have a phenomenally great fun life? You get one chance to live every day, so why not live it as if it's your last and make it absolutely phenomenal?
But does that always have to mean, because people, you know, there are often people that do extreme sports, and, you know, there'll be skiers and there'll be jumping out of planes and doing all that kind of stuff. Does it have to be that, or could you do something extraordinary like, I don't know, could you collect the largest number of stamps or something? Would that be extraordinary? Would that count for you?
The Guinness World Records is well full of people that collect the largest number of stamps. It's just not what I like doing. If you take your example, anybody can ride a bike, but not everybody can win the Tour de France. But you don't have to win the Tour de France to be extraordinary. Anybody could ride a mile to the shops, but not everybody could ride 100 miles. If you dig for 100 miles, you've got to dig really deep. You'll get some tough times. It's like running a marathon. Anybody can run 100 yards, but not everybody can run a marathon. If you run a marathon, nobody expects you to win. They're amazed you turn up at the start line. They're amazed you turn up at the finish line. They ask what your time is more as a polite courtesy, more than well done, have a beer, it's absolutely fantastic. Because we all know the people that win a marathon, they've got a 14-inch waist, but it's like everybody in the planet can do that little bit more than they've ever done before. And that's why I think people that run marathons, people that cycle 100 miles, or like I did windsurfing from France to England, it's just doing something amazing and having a lot of fun while you do it.
And I mean, we were talking, you know, a bit about extreme sports there. But do you think people can be extraordinary in ways that don't have to involve sort of these physical challenges?
Of course you can. Anything you do, just make it the best day that you can. Anything that you want to do, it doesn't matter if it's work or if it's play, but put a smile on your face.
OK, well, we certainly try and do that here. And tell us a bit about how, I mean, were you always into extreme sports and physical challenges, or did that just sort of happen and you woke up one day?
I mean, I grew up as a kid on a skateboard. I wasn't very good, but I loved it. I've been snowboarding. I only took it up when I was 30, but I did a bit of catching up since. But anything that you can do that gets you out in the fresh air, that's doing some exercise, is just fantastic. It doesn't matter what your sport is, but just do something. Think of something that's absolutely crazy. It could be whatever your passion is. Find your passion and just do it.
OK. But do you not think you kind of might be encouraging people to do something dangerous or risky in this?
Sounds good to me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, look, risk is a different thing. If you know what you're doing, you're managing risk. I'm not asking anyone to jump out of a plane unless they want to. Use a parachute, get some instruction. If you go skiing or snowboarding, get some instruction. If you want to learn to surf, get some instruction, but find something that really puts a smile on your face, that makes you alive and want to live your life. And it's sort of, you get those days, Charlotte, where you can look back and say, that day you were alive 1000%, and you'll remember that for the rest of your life. Why not live like that?
No, yeah, why ever not? But do you ever, OK, so sometimes, I've got a confession, you know, lots of my friends are like out there doing marathons, running this, doing that. Sometimes you just feel like, you know, it just, everyone's doing it. It's just boring now. Like, you know, I can't think, I have to think of something entirely different to do. How am I going to come up with that? Do I have to invent something mad to be extraordinary?
Well, look, if you look at, say, climbing Mount Everest.
OK.
No, I don't like heights, so I've never done it, never will do it. But if you look at climbing Mount Everest, nobody says, what was your time? How long did it take? They just go, wow, you did it. There's over 4,000 people that have climbed Mount Everest. There's over 1,000 people a year that go to the North Pole. So there's lots of things that you can do. There's about 12 people in the world that have windsurfed the English Channel, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, that's a pretty rare one.
An elite group.
Well, there you go. But it doesn't matter what you like doing, because everybody's different. If all those people that watched football or went fishing or played golf came down to the beach, it would be really, really crowded.
But what if they caught the biggest fish? How would that be?
That would be fantastic.
There's no guarantee, I suppose.
No, but there's no guarantees in life, Charlotte. If you look at the Guinness World Records, it's full of everybody from who's got the longest fingernail to whatever. But if you look at some of the most amazing movies you've ever seen, say Cool Runnings with the Jamaican bobsleigh team, you look at Eddie the Eagle, that guy's a legend. You're looking at this person, he was an unemployed steel worker or carpenter or whatever, and he goes and sets himself off to be an Olympic ski jumper for England, the only person that ever applied. And look at him, 20 plus years later, nobody can remember who got the gold medal, but everybody all over the world remembers Eddie the Eagle. They've even made a movie of him now. It comes out on the 1st of April. It's going to be brilliant. Can't wait.
Is it secretly, okay, and don't take this the wrong way, is it secretly because you kind of like people being amazed at you?
That's a really good question. I'm sure you've got a reason for asking it. Could I ask what it is?
It would be interesting because people like, you know, lots of people like being the centre of attention and, you know, they like talking about themselves. Is it just so that, you know, you enjoy people being amazed at you for what you've done?
Well, I've never thought of it like that before, but thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment. I don't know. When I set my goal to windsurf to France, it was because it was the wildest, craziest thing I could think of. It was something that was sort of believable, but extraordinary.
Yeah.
And it was just the biggest, craziest thing I could think of.
Okay.
But it was also the thing I loved doing more than anything else on the planet. So if you can combine your hobbies, and it's like the Americans say, make your vacation your vocation. If you find something you love to do, so much easier to be good at it. And even if you're not very good at it, you can have a hell of a good time doing it.
That's true. Well, I shall, you know, try to think of something somewhere on the line between crackpot and achievable.
I was wondering what you were saying.
Somewhere between crackpot and achievable that I can set myself up to do. You know, if you have any ideas, you can write in and we can set me a challenge or something. Otherwise, I'll just grow my fingernail.
Do you want to learn to windsurf?
I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't really like cold water, but it might be a problem around here.
Actually, at the moment, because we've had all of these fabulous winds, then the sea is actually, it's the warmest we've ever had for December, January and February, and there are still people out windsurfing barefoot in February, and that's a pretty much unheard of.
They're crazy. For me, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for coming in, Ptol. Really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure and a
thanks for telling
privilege.
us all about it.
You're welcome, Charlotte. Thank you.